getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy.
Good morning, y'all. I'm just going to be working on my Echo weed eater this morning. This is that same one that I showed you about a week ago, and I got it running. I replaced all the fuel lines in it, changed the spark plug, and it seemed to be running all right, except for it would die every time or bog down every time I would start giving it a throttle. So I talked to a friend of mine who told me that there's an exhaust cage. Let me turn this around. That covers the exhaust, this little cage. You can take this off. There's two screws. There's one here, there's one right here. Take this cage off, and apparently there's this mesh wire right inside here, and this is what I'm going to be taking off today. I'm going to take this off. It looks like it's been pretty worn, and what happens is that carbon buildup on that filter will over time prevent the exhaust from being able to escape the engine quick enough, and that bogs it down, which required me to leave the choke on, if you remember from my last video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off. There's a few screws right there, and I'll come back and show you how clogged up that thing is, and maybe I'll just leave it off and we'll see how this thing runs. So alright, so I took the screws out. I'm going to take this off and see how clogged up this thing is. Wow. So just like we suspected, this thing is pretty worn out. I don't even know if I can even use. I may just have to take this thing off and see how it works. So I won't be able to do that in video but I wanted to show you this filter right here. Now there's that wire right inside there, and there's some carbon buildup that gets on there, and that's what's causing this thing to bog pretty bad. Alright, so I took the screen off. You can see it's pretty rusted up. We're just going to leave that off. I've heard that the exhaust is going to be able to escape here a lot faster, and we'll maybe make it bog less whenever I'm using it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these screws back in, put this housing back on where it belongs, and we're going to see if I can just fire this thing up and run it without that. I'm sure I got the part in there. I had to leave the gasket off because I don't have a new one. There's the old gasket, and there's that screen. I'm just going to leave that screen off, put that part back on, sprayed a little WD-40 on there. Looks like this thing's probably been weathered pretty good, got some water on it and rusted. So let me see if I can't fire it up and see what happens. Maybe we'll get lucky and this fixed my problem. Again, I've only spent about $17 on this Echo SRM-230. That's about a $300 weed eater. Bought it for $10 and got a fuel line kit for about $7-8, something like that. So let's see what happens. Little choke. Pretty cold. There we go.
I don't know where I'm going. These butterflies hanging in my mind. I'm far from home, reminiscing on my life. I won't die before I die. Let me find me lost in my trapping dreams. I'm paralyzed. The meaning of the side by side that feel I'm gone.
I've been sorbing, make it trendy, we look sexy. Here we go, making really